All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about something that is a total game changer for anyone trying to build something complex with AI. We're talking about a real, honest-to-goodness architectural solution to one of AI's biggest, most frustrating problems. It's absolutely terrible memory.
You know the feeling, right? You spend hours, maybe even days, meticulously explaining your project to an AI, and you think, yes, it finally gets it. The context is perfect. Then you log in the next morning and it's like you've never met. That feeling of starting from scratch, that's exactly what we're going to solve today.
So let's break this down. The root of this whole issue is something we can call AI amnesia. And look, it's not a bug in the system. It's actually a core feature of how these AIs work, using what's called ephemeral session memory. Basically, the memory is designed to be temporary. And this right here, this just nails that experience perfectly. Yesterday, you had this genius collaborator that understood every little twist and turn of your project's logic. But today, it's a complete blank slate, hitting you with that cheerful but infuriating "how can I help you today?" All that progress you made just vanished into thin air. And we're not just talking about forgetting a few facts here. The problem is so much deeper. It's called logic drift. Think of it as the slow, painful erosion of all the nuance and all the critical connections you've built. It's the reason you have to keep repeating yourself over and over, and it's an absolute productivity killer. Now, the first thing everyone tries is pretty obvious, right? You think, okay, I'll just feed it a summary of our last chat. And it makes sense on the surface. But for any project with real complexity, this whole approach is just deeply flawed. Let's get into why. Here's the heart of the problem. Complex work lives and dies in the tiny, granular details. A short summary, by its very nature, smooths all of that out. It just can't capture the weird, logically twisted parts of your project, which are usually the most important parts the AI needs to understand. So what happens? The AI can only give you the most basic help. You run into all these logic flow problems, and you're right back where you started, re-explaining the same core ideas again and again. It completely defeats the whole purpose of having a smart assistant to begin with. But what if there was a way to give the AI a perfect, complete memory every single time you start a session? Well, there is. And that's where we introduce the hero of our story today, the cold start protocol. And listen, this isn't some band-aid or a clever workaround. It's a proper, robust architectural solution. The big idea behind this protocol is something called simulated persistence. We know we can't change the AI's built-in temporary memory, but what we can do is simulate a perfect long-term memory. And we do it by handing the AI a single, perfectly crafted document that brings it up to speed instantly. Okay, so what makes this protocol so darn effective? It really boils down to two key components that work together beautifully. Let's break them down. The first key is something we're calling the exhaustive dossier. Seriously, the best way to think about it is like a mission briefing you'd give to a secret agent who wakes up every single morning with complete amnesia. It has to have everything, assuming they know absolutely nothing. This is our verbose cold start file. And that word verbose is crucial. We're not summarizing. We're doing the opposite. We're creating a super comprehensive, totally self-contained document that lays out the entire conversation. The whole point is to be so explicit and detailed that there's zero chance for logic drift to sneak in. Now, that huge dossier is amazing for giving the AI the big picture, but what if it needs one tiny, specific detail buried in a 1,000-page source document? You don't want it reading the whole thing. And that's where our second key comes in, the SMART index. We call this the Canonical Citation Index. You can just think of it as a super smart table of contents that we embed right inside our cold start file. It doesn't hold all the data from those external files. It just tells the AI exactly where to look to find the deep dive information it needs right when it needs it. And you can see right here just how simple and powerful this is. The AI is working, it needs to understand the pull versus push principle. Boom, the index points it straight to the project architecture PDF. It needs to analyze some paradox analysis logic. No problem, it knows to look in the logic appendix. This is precision-guided information retrieval. It's so efficient. So, I know what you're probably thinking. This sounds awesome, but uploading a massive document every single time sounds slow and impractical. And you know what? A couple of years ago, you'd have been absolutely right. But a recent technological leap has changed everything. 2 million tokens. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's the size of the context window in modern AI models like Gemini Pro. It's a number so huge it's almost hard to wrap your head around. I mean, this chart really says it all. That tiny little bar on the left, that's what we used to work with. That massive bar on the right, that's today. 2 million tokens is roughly the equivalent of 15,000 pages of text. Our Verbose cold start file, even if it's 20, 30, even 50 pages long, it's a tiny drop in the bucket. And what this incredible new capacity gives us is something researchers call near-perfect retrieval. The AI can basically inhale our entire cold start file and pull out specific details with stunning accuracy. All those complex, old-school methods like tiling data to fit into smaller models, they're totally obsolete now. So let's put it all together. Here is the definitive workflow, your new playbook. Step 1, generate one and only one exhaustive cold start manifesto. Step 2, inside that manifesto, include your smart index. Step 3, at the start of every new session, you upload just that single file. That's it. And step 4, the AI takes it from there, using the index to ask for those deep dive source files only if and when it needs them. It's simple, it's powerful, and it just works. So here's the big takeaway from all of this. AI amnesia, it's no longer a technical barrier we just have to put up with. Thanks to the cold start protocol, an AI's memory is now a conscious design choice that you get to make. So the question isn't if an AI can remember your project anymore. The real question is, now that you have this power, what are you going to build?